So you made a speech yesterday in Swedish to the audience here about your the developments in your school, Rekolamäki, in Helsinki or north of Helsinki, and the work you have done with the Forums of Change. So if you would like to say to tell me that story in English, I would be very grateful.
I'll try to.
Okay.
Well, I would like to first tell you a little bit of my school. It is close to Helsinki Vantaa airport. It's in Vantaa. It's one of the biggest cities in Finland, and it's in the center of Vantaa. We have a lot of foreign people in our area and a lot of problematic families with low education and low financial situation. We have a lot of all kinds of problems in families whose child we have in our school. We have 350 students. They are aged between 7 and 12, so they are from the 1st to 6th grade in our school. We have 12 normal classes that have between 20 and 30 students, and 6 special classes for 8 to 12 kids. And then we have classes for handicapped students, and they are two of those. We have about 40 adults in our school. We are about 20 teachers. Then we have the assistants that help during the classes, and we have of course the principal, and then the psychologist, and the nurse who's helping a few times a week, and then all the different mother language teachers that are 17 in our school that come in a week there to teach a few lessons. It's a new school. It's only 6 years old, the building physically, and we have a very nice principal. She's very innovative. She's inspired, and one can see that she's interested really to do the best for the kids, and of course us as her workers. So it's very good to be there. We know that we're important. We started with the Forums of Change 2 years ago, when our principal had been had an evening with some consults who had told about Forums of Change, and she got all excited in the beginning already. She started to find financial help to get the program to our school, and luckily for us, she managed to get the money from a bank pretty soon. We also got rest of the money from the city, and then when we had the financial part done, so we could start the schooling for the Forums of Change, and the whole 40 persons from our teachers and all the adults in our school did the organization barometer and used the other tools also to understand the theory behind the kids' Forums of Change. And right now we have 11 teachers using the Forums of Change in their classes every day, and I'm teaching now the 1st grade. I just came back to the first grade from the third that I had till last June, and now I started from the very beginning again. So I'm going to start with my first grade for Rooms of Change probably in January, or as soon as I feel that I know my students and I know their families and their backgrounds well enough. So I think that's a big thing to do, to know them really well and have already in my opinion, the 4 Rooms of Change is a lot of trusting the other people to care, and that they care about you and that you care about the other ones. So I think it's very important to know the kids already.
So you yourself, you began before the other teachers, didn't you? With your in second grade.
Yes, I started my 4 Rooms of Change with the kids last year, when I started the third grade. And I had worked with those kids already a year, so I thought it was very convenient to start with 4 Rooms of Change then. I started it immediately after the summer vacation. We started by building the rooms very carefully. We spent about 6 hours per kid to build the rooms. I had last year 26 students in my class. They were 8 or 9-year-olds, and 9 of them were foreigners. 3 of them couldn't speak proper Finnish, so we needed to go through the words that the kids then found out to the faces. So we did them so many times that even the ones who don't speak good Finnish, so they had really understood what the words mean. So I think the building process was very, very interesting because of the different kind of kids. It was amazing because the kids found the most convenient words to the rooms. I didn't have to push them at all or help them anyhow specially to find the rooms. I just asked the questions that were shown to me how to start building the rooms, so it just happened.
And you spent 6 hours per room?
No, I put the kids into two groups.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I started with the one group, and it took about an hour to go through the first 2 rooms. Okay. And then I used the same with the other group, and then I got on with the 2 more rooms, and then at the same second hour I made it already to that part when I asked that you have told me how does this face feel, but could you now tell me how is this person to other ones? Yeah. So that went a lot faster, even the other round. Then we did then we found the right words for the whole class. The whole class was together then after those 2 rounds within the 4 rooms, and then we chose the right words, and it took about 2 hours, and then we named the rooms. So all of that took about 6 hours.
Okay, I understand.
Then I gave the magnets, and the kids started immediately to use them. I had heard that it will be a chaos when they will move the magnets all the time. I never felt that it was that way. They are very precise. on which word they want to be. If they don't find the right word, they put on the face, because they know that what belongs into this room, and if it's not the right word, they go only to the room. I never saw anyone moving someone else's magnet. I never thought that it was disturbing while meeting the lesson. They could stand up and go to the magnets and switch the place. The importance of the knowing the kids before, I think it shows especially there when you started to use the forums, because then you know. I had one girl whose attendance to be was a bit sad. She's the kind of girl who likes to be a bit sad. She's a bit. It looks like she enjoys it. Okay. So when we started using it, so I wasn't shocked when she put her magnet to sad. And then I only knew that if something more happens, if she phrases to glad, I need to immediately ask her that, what is that good that has happened to you? Or then also the opposite, that if someone was very happy, I already knew that this kid used to be very happy. If he or she falls down to not feeling too good, so I need to immediately go to that kid and ask that, do you want to tell me what has happened? So I know how quickly to react to the changes. And it helped a lot kids to tell about their feelings, and they love to share things that have happened in their lives. And it's very enjoyable to look how they start to build the empathic feelings about each other, how they listen to each other, how they enjoy it that the group gets so tense. They are so together as a group that it's very a special feeling. I was the first in our school starting to use the forums of change. And my colleagues commented a lot to me, and what has happened to your class?
Okay. So what did they see?
They saw that they didn't calm down. I had also those times very lively class, but they started respecting the other ones. They started, in schools it's not the serious bullying that we didn't have before, but it's the small things you can call the other one stupid, or it's the little things that ended almost all of it, and almost immediately when we started using this. And I think it's because they notice, and they are very good in seeing where the other ones are. They are very good in commenting the other ones when someone has become sad. So I noticed immediately how they started to say to me first that, teacher, have you remarked that this kid is in sad? And then they go to that kid and ask him or her also. That it's not only that they would come to me, that they go also to that kid and ask if they could help. And that was very, very nice to see. If someone was feeling lonely, before I, from outside, came there and said that who wants to play with this girl. So I noticed that the kids went to the lonely one and asked that, would you like to play with me the next break or so. So they started to build their own also the group on the other way that I had seen before.
So how will you and that continued the whole year?
Yes.
So how would you describe your class at the end of that year?
Amazing, I would say.
Okay.
They had grown as kids and as pupils so much. They had learned some things that I told yesterday here, that I had one boy in my class, 9-year-old, who had very, very difficult childhood and very difficult family. And I asked on the last week that, what do you think you have learned under this year as 3rd grade? So he told me that we have had magnets. I think I have learned to know myself. I think I have learned to take care of other ones. I think I'm a better person right now. And it sounds amazing when a 9-year-old says something like that. And he was that kind of a boy who didn't trust anyone before. And under this year he had started to show affection to me and to his buddies in the classroom. And it's something, if you can experience something like that with a kid, so you cannot be something else than really touched and really sure that this program and these forums of change really works.
Okay, so now that's amazing. That's absolutely almost unbelievable. But I've heard the story several times. And now you say that 10 other teachers are using it.
Yes.
In school. So do you have what do they say? Do they have the same experience? Or?
They have same kinds of experiences. The forums of change, in my mind, has a lot to do with the teacher's personality also, and that's a bit of a problem in my mind. Or it's not a problem, but the forums of change becomes a different kind of rooms with every teacher. I have my closest colleague is a man. He's a bit older than I am, and in his 4 rooms there is probably 5 words in each and every room, and I have about 35 in each and every one of my rooms. Okay. So I think it looks a bit different, but I think the basis is the same. I think the kids have opened up also to him in a different way than before. So he has also very good opinions about the forums of change, and everyone is now using it and thinks that they will use it in the future. Everyone is not like giving up, or everyone feels that it's a tool that works in the everyday life. And that's it's easy, it's simple, and it works.